Hello, my name is Thomas Seidner, and I am a board gamer. I enjoy playing board games, but sometimes board games have something in them that leads me to want to make a modification to the board game, and sometimes I turn to my mobile device for that modification. Lately, I've been playing Dungeon Saga. Dungeon Saga is a really fun game. It's a dungeon crawl in the vein of Descent. I really like this game. I love the combat in this game. The original game, the Dwarf King Saga, which was the original base set, was really good, but it was really emphasized when the Adventurer's Companion came out. I know this is really hard to find right now, but by the time this video comes out, maybe it won't be. But if you can pick this up, I highly recommend to get Dungeon Saga, the base game, and the Adventurer's Companion at the same time, because without the Adventurer's Companion, it's not as much fun as it is with it. Now, one thing I really like about Dungeon Saga is the ability to play it by myself. A lot of times I have free time when I'm between working on lectures and stuff, and I don't want to, go and find a bunch of people to play with, so I like to have games that I can play by myself, and Dungeon Saga is one of those games that I can play by myself. So I've been playing it a lot. I've been playing it with the Uncharted Dungeon, which is really nice, which allows you to flip a card, and every time you flip a card, it creates another part of the dungeon, and every time you open a door, you flip another card, it opens another part of the dungeon. It's really fun to not know what's behind each door when you go to play. So I was playing the other day, and one of my characters found a chest. So in Dungeon Saga, you have little chests here, and one of my characters found a chest, and I opened up the chest. And when I opened up the chest, I drew the card to find out what was in the chest. And when I drew the card said, "One random magic item." Now this caused a dilemma for me, because I wasn't really sure when it said one random magic item, whether or not I took all the magic items and I mixed them together and I drew one at random, or because my character was only a level 2 character, do I only draw magic items that are level 2 that my character can use? What if I draw something that I cannot use? So it was a real dilemma. The other dilemma that I had was I'm very OCD when it comes to things, and I like to keep my cards separated. So if you notice, my card set for Dungeon Saga is all sorted by the card type. So I have all my weapons together, my armor together, my paraphernalia together. I have them all together, and so the dilemma for me was I would have to take all my decks for all my different expansions, mix them together, and then draw a card at random. Then after I did that, then I would have to sort all my cards back out so that they were in the right order, so that when I went and looked for something like a weapon or an armor or something, it would be in the right area. And that was kind of annoying to me also. So in order to rectify this situation, I decided, since I teach iPhone development and Android development, that it would be a good idea for me to go ahead and create an app on my phone that would actually let me just select a random item. But above and beyond that, I wanted to be able to say, hey, only select a random item for me that my character can use, or only select a random item for me from a set that I actually own. So what I did was I created this app. The app does not have a fancy name. I just called it the DS Random Treasure Generator. I'm going to show you this on my phone. So on my phone you can see that I have a icon for it here that I created. And if I click on that icon, it's going to bring up the app. Now the app is very simple. I didn't use any graphics. I didn't want to use anything that was owned by Manic, the company that makes Dungeon Saga, because I didn't want them to be upset with me. So as you can see, the app is pretty plain, but it has some pretty cool features. First of all, if you click on the settings button, you'll see that there's a bunch of settings here that you can choose from. One of the settings is you can say what sets you own. So I can say that I own the Dwarf King's Saga and the Adventurer's Companion, and I can turn off Return to Valdor, Infernal Crypts, Warlord of Galhar, and Tyrant of Halapi, like that. I can turn those off, and then it will only select cards from those two sets. If I have all the sets, which I do, then I can also say whether or not I want it to go ahead and select items that fit within the level of my character. So if you look here, you can say, yes, I only want to select items of a certain level, and then you can pick the level. So I've picked level 5, so if I have a level 5 character, the app will pick items from all the sets that I've selected that only are level 5 and under. So once I'm done with the settings, I just hit back, and then I just very simply select the button that says pick a random treasure, and as you can see, it picked a random treasure for me. In this case, it was Spellbane. If I click it again, it will give me another random treasure. And it's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple app. It only took me about an hour to write it. It was very easy. I did use a SQLite database for all of the items, and I'm just doing a query in the database and selecting the items and then randomly selecting one from the ones that match it. So, if this looks interesting to you and you would like a copy of this, I do not have a App Store account. I do not want to pay Apple $100 a year to be able to give away free stuff. So I am going to provide this app free in the source code version. So if you have a Mac and you can run Xcode on your machine, you can take my source code, you can run it through Xcode, you can download it to your device, and you can run it on your phone. So if you look in the description below, I've added a link to the source code for this. Feel free to modify it if you want to run this on an iPad or a different size phone, because I have an iPhone 6, you might have an iPhone 6 Plus. Feel free to modify it and change it in any way you want and enjoy it. Also, you can also use this as a little tutorial for creating iPhone apps that use a SQL database. Now, I will warn you, I've set this up so that it's just a read-only database. I had no reason to write to the database, so the code may not help you if you're trying to write to the database, but if you're trying to do a read-only database where you're just looking things up, this should definitely be a good example for that. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy the app. If you have any comments, please leave your comments below, and I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. Okay, thank you very much. Happy exploring.